What's up, you guys? This is one of those days. I wanted to do a little quick rant. It's probably not going to be too quick, but I got a lot of shit to talk about, you guys. And this time, I'm ready and I got some fucking notes. So there will not be no uhs and buts. And let me find it. All right. So let's get to this shit real quick. Put you guys down here. Hold on. Fine. Can't put you guys down. It's like 95 degrees, 98 degrees out here today. Um, First thing I want to talk about, I'm going to be a little bit all over the place, and towards the end, I'm going to be talking about like Christianity and stuff like that. But first rant is a lot of people wonder why the Egyptians would have their sarcophagus encased in gold. Well, gold is the skin of gods and silver is the bone of the gods, okay? As far as like all these people who got something to say with how you eat and thinking that people are just dumb for basically not wanting to, how can I say this without insulting someone? Thinking that they can ascend without being in nature, without fucking with trees, without sitting in grass, without soaking your feet in the soil or the sands of the beach. But I believe that to be against nature is to be opposed to God. So that's just what I believe. Another thing I believe is that Bray aliens exist in the form of thought. Like these are like one of a certain sect of demonic entities, and they can only exist in your thoughts, like i.e. trying to influence the way that you think. Another thing, here we go about Christianity. So, you guys see me pick up a book. You see me pick up the Bible. I reference the Torah, the Tanakh, the Apocrypha, the Metaphysical Dictionary, the 22 books missing from the Bible. I mention a lot of stuff, right? But a lot of people like to argue. They get into this little rant about, how Christianity started in Africa. Well, Christianity didn't start in Africa. Not Christianity, at least. And the oldest church is not in Ethiopia, like you may hear some people say. It's happening again, you guys. I'm starting to power up. I'm starting to get super bright. Oh my gosh. I don't know. This has been going on for like, if it happens again on Wednesday, for the next 2 days, it'll be 3 weeks that this has been going on, you guys. But another thing, I'm going to get back to, Christianity and stuff, but I had just to make a lot of notes because I had so many things running through my mind. Yesterday after I left the studio, I was just like, whoa, okay, I need a minute to digest all these thoughts so that I can actually get them off the same way that they come to me. Another thing I think is that a lot of American blacks have a big issue with lying to yourself, or not you when I say yourself, or themselves, lying to themselves about history. Like, for instance, they'll be like, oh, all of Egypt was ours. Not all of Egypt. You got to understand which dynasties were straight African and then when they started to mix, and how some of the most famous pharaohs that you hear about are predominantly mixed race, unless you want to talk about the silver pharaoh and a bunch of other pharaohs who were really running shit. See, like if you're gonna claim all of that information, you're gonna claim, the rights to that land, claim Upper Kemet. You so they're claiming Lower Kemet all day long. Who's in Lower Kemet right now? A bunch of fucking people that weren't there previously with their fucking little carts, exchanging money, selling money right outside of fucking mass graves. A bunch of people digging up in fucking graves, picking in fucking bones. And you tell me why they doing that, before you start trying to get pro-black to the point to where you want to claim everything, every fucking thing. Yes, everybody essentially comes from Africa, but at the same time, why would you discredit your brothering, which is another tribe? Why would you discredit another tribe from their history? Why would you try to rob them of their history and take that away from them? Which does not mean that I don't believe that ancient Kemet, not the Kemet that everybody's talking about, which is Lower Kemet, where Cleopatra and everybody else, was chilling. I'm talking about the Nubian society that existed 20,000 years prior to King Ramses. So when you do address somebody and be self-righteous and all that shit, have your fucking shit together. Have your fucking facts. I'm so fucking tired about all these people who say they're awake. I'm awake, I'm conscious, but I'm just gonna make up some shit. And by the way, I hate you, whitey, and I hate you, fucking Asian man, and fucking everybody that ain't got fucking a dark tone to their skin is a devil. Instead of saying that the skin changing is a fucking defect, given the fact that these people were in different conditions, living conditions or whatever. And, there is such, I believe that there's a defect. I believe that that's what I'm going to believe, because as far as, I don't want to start talking in circles. That's why I made notes. But as far as my research goes, I believe that human beings come from a defect according to their blood type. And the blood type, if you talk to anyone who is of the Asian community, especially Japanese, they could break down your fucking personality according to your blood type. How is it that pro-black Americans don't know this information? And why is it that pro-black Americans are so busy pointing their finger at other black Americans, telling them what they're not doing right, trying to take them fucking down, instead of trying to take down the white man? That's called fucking agents, keeping your fucking mind so busy that you're not even paying attention to what's really going on around you. I believe that Judaism, Christianity, Muslim beliefs are all fragments of one African belief system. That's one thing I can tell you that I do believe. So, another thing I was going to start talking shit about, and I'm going to try to keep it very short and sweet, because it is hot than a mother out here. But African Americans and the Latin culture are always fucking believers instead of somebody that fucking know. You just gonna go and be Catholic because your mama and your grandma was Catholic. You're not going to question anything in the book. As a matter of fact, you get so fucking comfortable and so used to fucking going to church and attending church whenever you either feel bad, do something bad, or just to please the masses, to look good, not do anything that quote unquote the Jesus is telling you to do that's in that good book. There's ghettos around some churches, and if the tithes and stuff was going into the churches the way they're supposed to be, you shouldn't even have fucking ghettos nowhere near a fucking church. That's something to fucking think about. I also believe that we really have a war, but it's not. It depends on what kind of level you on. Are you stuck in 3D? Are you on the fourth dimension? Fifth? Did you pass 3D to go straight into the 5th dimension? Or are you still fucking stuck in a 3D dimension looking at the 4 walls around you, bitter at the fucking world, being a victim and blaming everything on everybody but looking at your fucking self? Putting power in other people's hands by saying that they have the ability to fucking do something to you. Our war is not against each other. Our war is against the powers that's keeping you away from fucking spiritual consciousness. But you're not thinking about none of that stuff. If you only see, another thing is like, as far as people who go, well, you know, I believe in Jesus and I don't believe in nothing else. I believe in Buddha and I don't believe in nothing else. No, not I believe in Buddha and there's a possibility of other things. But a follower, which would be considered a true follower, if you only believe in one thing, not a Father, a Son, and a Holy Spirit, because essentially that's supposed to be all one thing, and I'll touch on that in a minute. But how can you believe in one thing and how could anything else exist if it was only that one thing? Nothing else would be here. It would just be just one being. There's different aspects, which also means that there are different entities, which also means there's different ranks of different entities. Let's see. What else? I believe that I'm an aspect of God. I believe you're an aspect of God. I believe that everything in this planet is a certain aspect of God. Everything that is originally from this planet. Now, see, you gotta keep your mind open while I talk about that. You know, I also believe that if you give your authority over to something else, by basically saying, you know, I don't believe that I have the power to manifest. I don't believe that I have the power to protect myself with my mind. I don't believe that I can get out of this situation with my mind. You're basically giving authority to someone else, and that person takes authority over you. Same thing with victimhood, victimization. You sit up there, oh, why is everybody so bad to me? How could you do this? You're giving somebody so much fucking power that you can sit up here and say, because of you, I'm not shit, or because of you, my life is all completely messed up. There are people all over this fucking world that have been through shit worse than your ass, and you would look at them and just think that life was handed to them on a silver fucking platter because of the way that they're living. Another thing, in this matrix, in this 3D world, you're told, when this ties into what I'm going to say as far as Christianity, you're told when to die. You're told when to live every damn day. When you turn on the TV, the news, the average American lives to 66 years old. The average person usually gets sick at this age. The average man gets colon cancer and go get your colon checked. You know, so basically you're letting them program you, handle you, program you, and tell you how long you're going to be here on this plane. That's something to think about, you know. Let's see. You're also told, as far as like manifesting and stuff, you're also told by everyone around you, even yourself, you're telling yourself how you can live. Basically saying, I can't afford this or I cannot afford this. You're told how you should dress, how a person of this age should be dressed, how a person of this race should behave, how a person of this religion should behave. And you think you're living. You call that living. Like, how could you call that living when you constantly got somebody to telling you what to do? The whole shit is just a prison without the fucking walls and the bars and the fucking guards watching you. They got guards, you know, and they'll lock your ass up if they have to. But right now, you're in the fucking crazy home. What's in a crazy home? Padded fucking walls. They're gonna put chains and all kind of stuff around people who actually don't have any type of they're not incoherently there. They don't understand what is going on. Have a good day. They don't understand what's going on. They don't know what's going on, or they just don't want to know what's going on. A lot of people, when you ask them, why are you Christian? They'll say, well, I'd rather be dumb to the world, or I'd rather To be Christian is to have blind faith. Okay, so I'm about to touch on your blind faith right now. Before I even get to that, everything that I was talking about, you're basically repeating the same fucking cycle to your kids. If you're not awake and you're not teaching your kids the stuff that you're learning, and not putting them in a fucking box of a way of thinking, you're repeating the cycle. You're teaching your kids to follow and comply. Follow and comply. Your history tells you where you've been, but it doesn't tell you who you are. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers look to a history book and be like, I'm a conquistador. This is who I really am. I'm really African. Power to the people. Not even knowing that, you may be from a certain tribe in the Congo, or you may be a Naga, a sea Naga, a land Naga. You might be a fucking war Naga. You don't understand these things, and people are fucking repeating that shit on YouTube in their fucking songs. I'm a Naga, 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 not even knowing where it came from. I just don't get it. I think that slavery is still here, and it's just in a different form, and it's in the form of fucking computers. Instead of having slave masters with bullwhips and fucking pit bulls chasing your ass down, you're just enslaved by the TV and the electronics and everything around you, controlling every person's thought, in turn making them one type of thought form. You might be in a different paradigm, but you're all linked to the mainframe of the matrix. Like, I'm just gonna leave that there. Have you ever sent your kid to school? This is for the parents. Have you ever fucking sent your kid to school, and at a certain point, like the end of fucking kindergarten, maybe the first couple of weeks of first grade, and your kid just come home and they don't act the same? I'm speaking from some experience. Like, that has fucking happened to me, and I just dismissed it at that point in my life because I was not awake and I was stuck in a paradigm. I assumed that was my kid maturing. When your kid starts talking like a businessman and they're just so serious, and you think that that's what a smart kid does. My kid is smart. My kid sits and talks just like this. My kid can spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. What can your kid spell? But does your kid know anything beyond that fucking book? Does your kid know the real story of fucking Thanksgiving and how they use Indians' heads like fucking soccer balls? Does your kid know the real story behind fucking Christmas, and that is actually the day of Nimrod? Do you even know why we have New Year's Eve and New Year's Day? Why are the days of the week what they are? Just why? Nobody's thinking about any of that fucking shit. And then they come in my fucking inbox, trying to fucking question me and trying to mind fuck me. Because what they don't do is what they do with everybody else. You're heathen. You're going to fucking hell. You should be ashamed of yourself. Blah, 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 bippity, blah, blah. They don't bring that shit over here because I will smash it. I will shut it fucking down. I will shut it down. Why do I pull up a fucking Bible to reference to certain things? That's to help the motherfuckers that's still trapped in a fucking paradigm to fucking open their eyes and either choose to see or fucking close their eye after it's already open and choose to fucking ignore. Choose to ignore what's fucking really going on. That God did not want a fucking businessman in the fucking middle. If God thought that you needed a fucking lawyer, lawyers would just automatically fall out of fucking vaginas. And when I mean lawyer, I'm not talking about an in-house fucking attorney. I'm talking about a pastor, a shepherd, a deacon. I'm talking about all that shit. Or how people go into the confession booth and the first thing your ass fucking do is put your fucking head down and start praying, asking for forgiveness. Give me 1 second. What's up? I know, I was in the studio all night. I was in the studio all night for the last 3 days. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, but I don't think I'm gonna be there. I don't think I'm gonna be there later on today. I'm taking the kids to the beach. I don't have any fire wires. They're all at the studio. Okay. Yeah, it does. Okay. Just call. And then if I'm not there, leave me a message. Okay. Alright, you guys. That's that Matrix shit. Fucking interruptions trying to make me lose my fucking train of thought. Having my friend pull up asking me for some fucking fire cables to do some fucking music and shit. This is supposed to be the person that's supposed to be hooking me up with the people, asking me if I got the fucking equipment, the artist, if I have the fucking equipment. And that's why I fucking pray to my ancestors, and I ain't even, I let him use my fucking program in my shit. I ain't gonna let nobody borrow my shit. Anyway, let's get to back to what I was talking about, okay? My whole thing started with just the very image of Jesus. Like, I just refuse to worship. I always say this, a white Jesus with a Cali surfer makeover. He has a Cali surf boy fucking makeover. They even say in the Bible that Jesus wasn't attractive. He was the plainest of the plain, meaning that he was a peasant. He came from a peasant family, okay? But he came from kingship bloodline. So I don't know how that works. But another thing is, it's very clear to me when John says that in the Bible that his feet were like fine brass, as if they were burned in a furnace. When you look at the pics of Jesus, you're looking at a painting called The Head of Christ. Pull it up in your search engine. The painting called The Head of Christ, made by Warner Smallman. Spelled just like I said it, Smallman, in 1892. Isn't that the same time Columbus supposedly sailed the fucking ocean blue? Yeah, kind of sick of this fucking bullshit ass lies. Just couldn't even formulate a sentence at the end of that one. I'm sorry, you guys. And the image of that painting is really Cesar Borrega. That's what his name is. I'm gonna spell it so that you can look it up and you can put the pictures side by side and let me know what you decide after this. Ceasare, last name Borgia. Another thing, when did the letter J come into play? Say Jesus when you're praying, right? Now, the most successful criminal is one that appears. You know what, you guys? I'm gonna move. Damn! You guys heard that shit? That was like a 5-car pile-up crash right there. Sound like a fucking old ass lady. I'm about to come over here in the shade, you guys. And I'm still fucking glowing. I've been looking like a glowworm for a few days, you guys. I don't know what it is. I mean, I do know what it is. You see that? Just glowing all day long. All right. Let me get to the rest of this. Let me find a proper place to sit in a nice shade. Okay. Let's do this, you guys. Get back to what I was saying. So check that painting out and tell me what it is that you think. You know, what are you seeing? What are you noticing? Another thing is, when I talk about a criminal, I'm talking about a successful criminal is like the type of person that appears like they got a fucking upstanding moral attitude. Like, they'll play that role. And those be the biggest criminals. And that's why every time you hear somebody fucking getting killed by someone, or someone just doing some crazy ass shit to kids, you hear the fucking neighbors say, he went to church. Or he was the nicest guy in the neighborhood. So sweet. Or no, she killed her kids, but yet she was a soccer mom, totally fucking normal every fucking day. That doesn't mean anything. That's why the majority of people that are running out of these fucking churches saying that they don't even believe in anything anymore are people who were fucking victimized by criminals inside the fucking church. If you do your research about the letter J, if you do your research about the letter J, you will find that it is impossible for the Savior's name to be Jesus, for one. The letter J came 500 years ago. 500 fucking years ago. Look that shit up in the search engine and you don't believe me. Pull it up on some real facts. Go to a fucking library and look it up in a book if you still don't believe that after you look it up in a damn search engine. But another thing is, the letter J wasn't even used in any language prior to the 14th century England. Prior to 14th century England, there was no letter J. And the letter J, when it did come into play, didn't spread out to the masses until the 17th century. In Greek, there is no letter J or J sound, period. I'm sorry, I got animals, you know, little animals. Now, a preacher will argue with you, right, and say that J came in the form of I, which turns into Isis. Because I used to always hear that at my church. They made the mistake of actually making Bible scholars out of their followers. We were required to come to church with a book. And just like the Jews do with their training and their training up of the kids, they had to go to school and learn the Hebrew. Women were not pressured to do it, but it was required by men at my old church to learn Hebrew and some Greek, so you can break down certain things if it wasn't said in Hebrew. So if the letter didn't come in until 17th century, and in Greek, if there's no J letter or sound, and the preacher's telling you it's coming from Isis, the contradiction to Yeshua, not even Yahshua. That's another thing, you guys. Let me get into that in a minute. If the get from over here. It's too many fucking animals, y'all. I'm walking up here. Okay, now listen, check this shit out. Let me just do my shit. No. Parking lots pimping. I have to go into the parking lot and go to the weirdest fucking places to try to record to avoid people, because no matter where I record, I could be on a fucking rock in the middle of nowhere. Somebody comes up to me and just starts fucking yapping their fucking traps. Yapping their traps. Now, Magi, i.e., prophet, you would say, God, Savior, whatever you want to, consider everything. Let's get this right. All right, you guys. I'm going to sit my ass right here. I'm going to just park it. Trying to sunbathe. I powered up a little too much that time. That was just too much for me. But, Magi knows his name, just like you know your name, right? Let's see. Like any other person, just like he knows his name, right? He, not the man and the woman together making a whole, but how they just say he. It is impossible for him to basically say that his name is Jesus, since Yeshua Yeshua, not Yah, but Yeh, Y-E, because that's a sacred name. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. Spoke Hebrew. When you see Inri on a cross, you know how I forgot to bring my rosary to show you. But when you're looking at the cross and it says Inri, it means Isus Nazaros Rex Urodorum, which in English translates as Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. And a Jewish person will tell you if they like your ass that the true word is Yeshua and not Yahshua like everyone else says, because they don't want you to utter the true word. Isis is the Greek goddess. So for all of those preachers that'll tell you, well, it derived from Isis, look that shit up. It's a Greek goddess. And the male aspect of that goddess is Zeus. And that's why when you hear a Latin person praying to Jesus, they say, hey, Zeus. Now you might be like, oh, that's some shit she just fucking made up. I'm going to keep going. Because regardless of whatever flaw that you find with what it is that I have to say as far as what I think and what I believe, I'm going to have something that's going to counteract whatever you have to say. So, another thing, in the Bible, they talk about how Jesus was in the garden and he was praying. And that was I know in that story, he got mad after he finished praying because two of the disciples passed out and fell asleep while he was praying, because he prayed all night asking God to remove this, is it an iniquity, or it's not a transgression, because he couldn't transgress being the Son of God, but to remove the yoke from him, like it was just too much for him to bear. So if Jesus tells you that I and the Father are one, when he's praying in the garden, he's essentially praying to himself. I'm just going to leave y'all with that and move on to the next thing. If you ask a Muslim from Iran what Mithra is, just look it up. Mithra, M-I-T-H-R-A, and where it came from, right? Ask them where that shit came from, and ask them how the Romans took that shit and ran with it. Speaking of Romans, you know, hello.
Hi.
You have to be able to look at facts and digest it from a neutral standpoint, without putting your heart into it, without putting your feelings or involving your feelings into the situation. You have to really be able to articulate what is being said to you, research that shit as you are finding out facts, and as you research it, keep an open mind. But if you want to keep yourself grounded in a certain belief, keep yourself grounded in that certain belief until you're proven wrong by your own research. Your own research. Answer this. This is so much shit I was thinking while I was just chilling in the bath. Like, why does the Catholic Church hide bishops and cardinals that are sodomites? Did you ever ask yourself that question? Is it because they don't want the church to look bad? Or is it something deeper? Is it something deeper than that? Let me wipe my lens off real quick. You guys, I can barely see anything. But, ask yourself, why is it that the elites abuse children and do ritual sodomy to open the third eye to the Luciferian illumination? Now I know you're like, what? I remember before I stopped being in my paradigm, I heard somebody say that shit one time. And they were saying that essentially when you're praying to Jesus, you are praying to Lucifer. And I was like, what kind of fucking demented shit? That demented motherfucker, that motherfucker ain't nothing but a devil who fucking doubles as an agent. I can't believe the shit that this motherfucker has the audacity to utter out of their mouth and teach other people. That's just how it was. That's how everything was when I first started doing this. But guys, I got something for you. When you are doing sodomy, and before people start going, she's attacking gay people, this is a totally, completely different subject. This is talking about sodomy in the church. All right? Let's get that shit right before motherfuckers start attacking me and sending dumbass messages and talking stupid shit. Right? So, by attacking the pressure point of the nerves at the base of the spine, it causes temporary neurological paralysis and a shift of consciousness. Once you ask people who've had that shit fucking done to them that are heterosexual, ask them what happened to their fucking mind in the moment that that shit was happening to them. The people that actually fucking survive, that still have a fucking voice that people don't want to hear. It causes a paralysis and a fucking mental shift in your mind. I'm going to keep going about these fucking sodomites in the Catholic Church. Jesus dies at age 33, right? 33 is a Masonic number. And if you draw it on a piece of paper, it shows 2 asses in sodomy. Don't believe it? Let me show you. This is the number 33, and it might be backwards. It might look like E for you. So let me flip it like this. That is the number 33. When you flip it upside down, what do you see, homie? Tell me what you see. I see 2 fucking butt cheeks. 2 different butt cheeks. I'm going to keep going. Because then you can still be like, she just pulled that out of her fucking ass. No, somebody else pulled something out of someone else's ass. But I didn't pull that out of my ass. The black sun is another symbol that you'll see if you're a member of the Catholic Church. Now, this is not because I watched a fucking YouTube and seen it. This is because for 2 fucking years of my life, I was in a Catholic school. I was in a Catholic school, had to attend a Catholic school, had to attend fucking Mass. The only thing I didn't have to do was confession, and I did not have to participate in religion class. But I chose to participate in religion class because I had so many motherfucking questions. To the point to where my religion teacher would just look over my motherfucking hand and be like, anybody else? Anybody else? All right. So the black sun is used during the Last Supper Mass. You'll see it. Just look it up. I'm going to show you a little picture of it, and hopefully you can see it because I can't even see what I'm filming by sitting in the shade over here. Now, this is what you'll see. If you see it on a flag inside of a church, you'll see it like this. Now, it's going to be obviously backwards because I'm showing it to you on a piece of paper on a camera that's going to flip it around like a mirror. This is going to be an I, an H, and an S, and it's going to have a cross, and the cross has 3 triangles right there. It also has 3 nails. You can also see it, and it might just be a golden like sun with a staff at the bottom of it, and the staff will say SFS. Don't believe me? Still making up shit, guys? All right, let's get to it. This is the flag that you'll see inside of a Roman Catholic church. That is the sun, that is the I, that is the H, and that is the S with a cross. Now take a good look at that real quick. Take a real good look at that. That's a cross, right? You're still gonna, hold on. You're still gonna look at that and say that's a cross. Let me break it down for you on some real shit. Speaking of shit. Remove the cross. Remove the cross from that. Take the letters I, H, S, and put the cross next to it. Jumble up those letters, and what do you guys get? Shit. Right in your motherfucking face. The devil does everything backwards. That's why this fucking shit, when you look at it, it's spelled backwards. It should be S-I-S-H-I-T. But you're looking at it like this. I-H-S with a cross. If that ain't enough to blow your motherfucking mind, hold on. If that ain't enough to blow your mind, I don't know what is. It's a lot of shit going on in the street over here. I shouldn't even came to this side of the building. But it's a lot of stuff going on, and it's just to stop me from doing what I'm doing right now, and that's sharing some truth with you guys. So, let's see. After we go over the shit thing, giving the people the code, like, you know, that's what you need to be doing. You want to get to another motherfucking level. Another thing is, when they interview those Catholic priests after they're caught, they have some sick ass shit. Like, there's a group of an all boys school of 500 boys that were sodomized for years and years. Even after this fucking dude died, they made him a fucking cardinal of the Catholic Church. It was a school for the deaf children. So the only thing that they can do is sign people. And I don't even understand how they got away with what they got away with. And the Pope was that guy's friend, and still made his ass a cardinal after he got busted. You know, this is Matrix, you guys. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Okay. So, what else did I covered the black sun. And another word for black sun is, can I get a minute, please? Well, can you wait until I'm done? Okay. I'm doing something. It's so funny to me, you guys, like how every time I try to like really break something down, if it's not a stranger that tries to interrupt me, it is either someone that I fucking like really fucking know. And right now I got people over, and they knew that I was coming out here to do my fucking video and to do everything that I need to do. And yet still, they, you know what? Let me stop myself, because that's part of it. That's part of that fucking shit. Get you fucking off of your fucking shit. I'm not even gonna go there. So, the whole trick of this, when I get here and I tell you I didn't touch the SFS, so you would want to look up on your search engine the Mosh Trance, and it is spelled MOSTRANCE, and just put the Pope holding the Mosh Trance, you know, or the sun wheel. You can try to type that in. It might come up. I don't know. A bunch of fucking personal opinions might pull up. So You know, I truly believe the trick is to try to get you to focus. The trick of the church is to try to get you to focus on the shit that you haven't accomplished in your life. Basically, by saying, allowing Christ to be the head, dying to yourself every day. You're constantly battling. You end up constantly battling yourself, trying to keep focus on what you haven't accomplished. Like, this is what I need to do to be closer to God, or I gotta make sure I go to this study on Wednesday so I can really understand the Bible. I gotta be supervised when I read that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's always somebody wants you to be supervised. And what it does ultimately is it stops you from focusing on how you feel and what's happening around you, because you're so busy just pressing and pressing and pressing and trying to press for the truth, this ultimate truth, and trying to strive to a perfection that you can't reach. And they even fucking tell you, not in this flesh. You're always gonna sin as long as you're in this flesh. Prayer is like a form of magic without having the ability to perform the magic. And magic is an attempt by a person or a group to influence the world around them directly. Prayer is an attempt to convince God's nature to influence the world. The difference is the source of power. Another thing, Horus was born on December 25th of a virgin star in the east of a virgin named Isis. I think it's Isis, or I'm mixing up my Greek. I'm sorry. I think it's Virgin Isis. Horus had 12 disciples and was greeted by 3 kings at birth. Horus was betrayed by Python, crucified and buried for 3 days. And Attis, which is like pretty much Greek savior, I guess, was born on the 25th of a virgin named Nana, Nana. His body was bread. He was the divine son. He died on Black Friday and was also crucified on a tree. Krishna is from India and was born of a virgin, came from the bright star in the east. Now, everybody, you can go to all these stories and another person will be like, well, that was just everybody's way of talking about Jesus, just a different name. Let me break it down for you. The East Star is Ceres. On the 24th of December, it aligns with 3 stars of Orion's belt, which till this day, they are called the 3 kings. The 3 stars point to the sun. Rise on December 25th. Giving birth to the sun, which is the winter solstice. Mary, the virgin, is really Virgo, the virgin sign in the sky. Look up names of Virgo, other names for Virgo. And they use the little M thing, right? The M ends up turning to the M sound, explaining why all the Virgin Mothers' names start with an M. Myra, Maya, Mary, etc. Look up the names to Virgo if you don't believe me. Another name for Virgo is the House of Bread, which is the true English translation of the Hebrew. 12 disciples, 12 constellations. You think, like people read, let's see here. I was going so fast, I started just rambling on my notes. So, here we go. when you think of the Jesus fish, it's a you know, most people will think about the two brothers who were fishing at the time Jesus came up on the scene, or um, him being fishers of man. Wrong, wrong, wrong. It is Pisces. It is a symbol for Pisces. Luke 22:10 talks about the next Passover's location after his death. Somebody's asking Jesus, like, where can I find the next, where do we have the next, you know, they don't say Passover, but it's like, where do we have the next dinner to honor you or whatever? And he'll answer back saying that is in a location in a city with a man bearing a pitcher of water, which is also the astral sign of the water Aquarius. I could keep going for days and days, you know what I'm saying? But this is like a fucking almost an hour-long rant, just keeping it fucking trill. I want to see how long it's gonna take for this shit to upload. Cause when I try to do some real shit without having fucking 50 takes and going blank, it don't want to upload. But this one is gonna upload because certain people really need to hear this. Aside from all the fucking bullshit and all the paradigms, people are still waking up every fucking day. You know? And this isn't a bash on somebody's belief. This is just me asking people to fucking do some research before you start opening your mouth and attacking other people with your fucking programming. Programming meaning that somebody told you to believe something without you fucking doing the homework to actually see what is coming out of their fucking mouth is the truth. The end.